Hello everyone. Welcome back to another lesson from class 7th. I'm Shishmita and interpreting with me today is Ekta. In this class, we will talk about the establishment of the British Empire in India. Who came to India to build their colonies to rule? In part 1, we learned about the East India Company, which brought a lot of change in India. Now, we will continue with learning about the discontent with English rule and revolts. In part 2, we will have a look at the following topics: discontent with the English rule, the revolt of 1857, the revolt spreads, revolt in every village, the revolt is suppressed. After the revolt, Hyderabad state and the British. Before going to the main topic, let's take a look at the keywords. Governance, the system by which an organization is controlled and operates. Military cantonment, a building or area where soldiers live. Endangering, to create a dangerous situation. Have a look on concept map. Discontent with the English rule. The English faced resistance from Indian rulers while establishing control, but more about their governance and challenges will be revealed in the later years. The kings and queens did not like them because the English would remove leaders whenever they wanted. Farmers and landowners did not like them because the English made them pay a lot of taxes and made sure they paid them on time. They were always worried about being unable to pay the taxes and losing their land. They were always worried about being unable to pay the taxes and losing their land. The tribal people resisted the new English rules and lost their rights to the land. More information will be available in the upcoming classes. Many Hindus and Muslims feared that the English would destroy their faiths and convert them to Christianity. In 1857, the English temporarily lost control of northern India during a revolt, as various groups united against them. Some of the key figures involved were Nana Sahib, Tantia Top, the Begum of Awadh, and Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi. Hindus and Muslims fought together against the English. Let's see when and where the revolt took place. On May 10, 1857, Sunday, in the military cantonment at Meerut, where the British Army had camped. The sun was setting when the Indian soldiers started shooting at their English officers. These soldiers had once helped the English conquer India, but now they were angry. They were not being paid on time and were not being treated well by the British Army. The soldiers revolted in Barrackpur near Kolkata in March 1857 due to suspicions of new rifles, were coated with cow and pig fat to keep them dry. They felt that their religious faith was being violated. This led to discontent in Meerut, the soldier shooting at British officers, followed by a march towards Delhi. On the night of May 10 to 11, 1857, news of the Sipahi revolt quickly spread in Meerut, leading to a large crowd attacking English homes. The police even joined the mobs, resulting in many casualties among the English as bungalows and offices were set ablaze. At sunrise, Meerut soldiers crossed the Yamuna River to Delhi, entered Lal Killa, and declared Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar as their leader, urging him to reject British rule with the slogan, "Remove the British, bring back Mughal rule." Let's see how the revolt spread. After the call, rebellions erupted in Aligarh, Manipuri, Bulandshahr, Attock, and Mathura, causing chaos and fear among the English. They realized their helplessness with 45,000 officers and soldiers facing off against 2,32,000 Indian soldiers. Indian soldiers fought the English, endangering townspeople, while English soldiers defended their families, sparking the rebellion. Ex-Nawab of Awadh and Maratha Peshwa Nana Sahib joined the uprising against the English. Rebel soldiers and leaders from across the country marched to Delhi, gaining local support to reclaim their provinces. During British rule, a failed rebellion in Hyderabad in 1857, led by Turebaz Khan and Maulvi Alauddin, saw 6,000 gather at the British Residency. Despite the Nizam's support for the British, the rebellion failed and Turebaz Khan was killed. Next, see how the revolt spread in every village. The rebellion quickly spread throughout Uttar Pradesh and Bihar as farmers and landlords united to drive out the English officials. They refused to pay taxes, destroyed infrastructure, and grew bolder in their fight against British rule. The rebels also targeted moneylenders who had gained power with the help of English laws. Let's see how the revolt is suppressed. The English gained control despite the widespread success of the revolt. The rebels fought bravely, but their major weaknesses was fighting separately in different towns and regions, allowing the English to tackle them one by one. The rebels did not have enough new weapons. They had to use old guns, arrows, spears, and swords because they could not get the guns and cannons they needed from India. How could they keep fighting with those old weapons against the newer ones? The English were scared by how quickly the revolt spread. They became even more cruel when dealing with rebel groups, killing them in brutal ways and hanging their bodies from trees in villages to send a message. The rebels were tied to cannons and blown up. Some rebels hid and moved around to avoid being caught by the English. Some even went to Nepal to hide. Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was exiled to Rangoon, where he died. The 1857 revolt posed a significant challenge to English rule in India, but after suppressing it, the British power grew, enabling them to rule for another 90 years. What finally happened after the revolt? The English spent over a year suppressing the 1857 revolt and changed their policies. In 1858, Queen Victoria announced that Indian kings could govern their territories without interference from the English. They formed a strong partnership with the royal families of India, granting the zamindars benefits and ensuring the safety of their land. The British government promised not to interfere in Indian religious affairs and to involve Indians in governing, but ultimately offered concessions to gain support after feeling threatened by the 1857 rebellion. Let's see about Hyderabad state and the British. Hyderabad was under English East India Company rule, with a British resident overseeing the state. The Nizam had to choose his prime minister with input from the resident and approval from the British Governor General. British appointed ICS officers in Hyderabad held full authority in all departments. Hyderabad embraced the British administrative system and policies. Visit the Salar Jung Museum to see items collected by Salar Jung, a visionary leader who transformed the city through land division, infrastructure, and fair governance. Let's have a final look at the summary of the topic. Various groups in India, including royal families, farmers, landowners, tribal people, Hindus, Muslims, and Indian soldiers were unhappy with British rule, leading to the rebellion of 1857. It started in Meerut and Barakpur and rapidly spread across the country. Thank you for watching. For more content, stay tuned to Ashray Akruti.